Hello everyone, it's me Maimoona AIwali. I am a student at Rehan College, Korangi Campus and teacher training boot camp. So today I am talking about now. Today I am talking to ChatGPT. So let's go. Hello ChatGPT, my name is Maimoona AIwali. Now today I am discuss about how to stay motivated during thought time.
Of course, Maimoona, I'd love to help with that. What kind of tough times are you thinking about? Like financial struggles, career setbacks, or something else? That way I can tailor the advice a bit more.
What does motivation mean to you during difficult time?
Ooh, that's a really good question. For me, motivation during tough times is really about having a sense of purpose, like holding on to a bigger why that reminds me why I started in the first place. It's also about small wins, finding little steps I can take, even when things feel overwhelming. What about you? What does motivation mean for you?
Okay, why it is harder to stay motivated when facing challenges?
Yeah, that's so true. I think when things get tough, the mental load just increases. Our energy drops, and sometimes it feels like progress is stalled. Plus, it's easy to focus on setbacks rather than the bigger picture. So it's like a battle between your mindset and the situation itself.
What are some common situations that test a person's motivation?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, some big ones are things like job loss, financial difficulties, or health issues, and also things like burnout when you just feel totally drained from constant stress. Relationship struggles, or even just a loss of like clear purpose can really zap motivation too.
How do thought time affect mental and emotional health?
Yeah, they can have a really big impact. I mean, tough times often bring about anxiety, stress, or even depression. And when we feel stuck, it kind of reinforces those negative emotions. So it's really important to have some healthy coping strategies, like reaching out for support or building small routines to help balance that out.
Okay, so my next question is what are some common situations that test a person's motivation?
Yeah, absolutely. So, some common situations that really test motivation are, for example, prolonged job hunting, financial strain, major life transitions like moving or starting a new career, or even things like losing a loved one. And also, sometimes just feeling stuck in a routine where you don't see immediate progress can really drain your drive.
Why is having a positive mindset important during struggle?
Yeah, having a positive mindset is crucial because it kind of acts like a buffer. It doesn't mean ignoring the hard stuff, but it helps you reframe challenges so you see them as temporary or manageable. And that gives you the mental stamina to keep going, even when the road is really rough.
Okay, so my next question is how can setting a small goal help maintain motivation?
Ah, that's a great one. So when you set small, achievable goals, it creates a sense of progress. Every time you reach one, it gives you a little boost, like a positive feedback loop. So even if the big picture feels overwhelming, you feel motivated by those small wins along the way.
What role does self-discipline play in staying motivated?
Yeah, self discipline is like the backbone of motivation. When things get hard or when you don't feel like it, self discipline keeps you on track. It bridges that gap between your intentions and your actions. So even when your motivation dips, you still keep moving forward.
How can reminding yourself of past success boost motivation?
Yeah, that's a really powerful strategy. When you remind yourself of times you overcame obstacles before, it shows you that you're capable. It kind of builds confidence and it gives you a sense of momentum like, hey, I've done hard things before. I can do this too.
Okay, why is patience important when doing thought time?
Yeah, patience is really key because progress often happens slowly, especially in tough times. If you're too hard on yourself or expect instant results, you get discouraged. But when you give yourself time, you allow room for growth, and that steady effort really pays off.
Okay, how can daily routine help provide stability and motivation?
Oh, absolutely. A daily routine acts like an anchor. Even when everything else feels uncertain, those familiar habits give you a sense of structure. So you can focus on what you can control, those small daily steps, so even tough days feel a bit more manageable.
What impact does self-talk have on motivation?
Yeah, self talk is really powerful. When you speak to yourself with kindness and encouragement, it boosts your confidence and keeps you focused on your goals. But if you let negative self talk take over, it can really drain your drive and make those tough times feel even harder.
How can negative thought be managed during difficult periods?
Yeah, so one key way is to recognize them without judging yourself. Just notice them. Then you can challenge them. Like, is this thought really true? You can also replace them with more balanced, realistic thoughts. And where things like mindfulness, journaling, or talking to someone can really help keep those negative spirals in check.
Why it is important to accept channels rather than avoid them?
Yeah, that's really important because when you accept challenges, you stop fighting reality and you start seeing them as opportunities. That shift lets you grow, learn, and actually build resilience. Avoidance just delays the problem and it can make it bigger or scarier in the long run.
How can learning from failure help you stay motivated?
Yeah, that's such a good point. When you learn from failure, you start to see it as a step in the process, not a dead end. It gives you insight into what works and what doesn't, so you can adjust, stay curious, and keep pushing forward with more wisdom.
How can learning from failure help you stay motivated?
Yeah, exactly. When you reflect on failure, it stops being this scary endpoint and turns into a lesson. You realize, okay, I tried this, it didn't work, but now I know what to do differently. So each failure kind of fuels your perseverance and you keep going with a clearer focus.
What role does hope play in overcoming hard times?
Absolutely. Hope is like that anchor that keeps us going when everything else feels uncertain. It reminds us that tough times are temporary and that we have the strength to get through them. So even a small spark of hope can really keep motivation alive.
Okay, so my next question is how can learning from failure help you stay motivated?
Yeah, for sure. So when you learn from failure, it actually gives you a clearer roadmap. You start to see what doesn't work and you adjust your approach, which keeps you moving forward. So instead of being discouraged by failure, you see it as a stepping stone and that keeps your drive going.
Okay, so my next question is how can support from family and friends
Oh, that's a
increase
big,
motivation?
exactly. Support from family and friends can be a huge boost. They remind you that you're not alone. They offer encouragement and sometimes they just help you keep perspective. Knowing you have that safety net makes it easier to keep going even when things feel really hard.
Why is asking for help a sign of strength, not weakness?
Yeah, that's a really important distinction. Asking for help actually takes a lot of courage because you're being vulnerable and you're showing that you trust others. And it means you value progress over just trying to do everything alone. So it's really a strength, not a weakness at all.
Okay, so my next question is
Of course. Just let me know what the next question is and we can keep going. I'm here to help
how
with any aspect of staying motivated or just navigating tough times.
how does taking care of physical health affect motivate?
Oh, it has a huge impact. When you take care of your body, like getting enough sleep, eating well, or staying active, it boosts your energy and mental clarity. And that in turn makes it easier to stay motivated because you just feel better overall.
Okay, so my next question is what is the importance of rest and sleep during stressful time?
Yeah, that's really crucial. When you're well rested, your mind is clearer, your stress levels drop, and you have more emotional resilience. Without proper sleep, everything feels harder, and it's so much easier to get overwhelmed.
Okay, so my next question is how can inspiration from book stories or role model help?
Ah, that's a great one. So, books, stories, and role models kind of show you what's possible. They give you these real life examples of people who overcame odds, and they remind you that your own challenges are just part of a bigger journey. So, that inspiration helps get you motivated and connected to a vision of what you can achieve.
Okay, so what advice would you give someone who feel like giving up?
Yeah, I would say first, be really kind to yourself. It's okay to feel that way. Then take a small step, just something tiny, like a walk or reaching out to someone. And remember, it's okay to ask for help, whether it's a friend, a counselor, or just taking a break. You don't have to figure it all out at once.
Okay, love is ChatGPT for thank you for this information.
You're so welcome, Maimoona. I'm really glad I could be here for you. Take care of yourself, and if you ever need to talk again, I'm here.